Y lo vamos a hacer con el economista de Estados Unidos para DWS, CHRISTIAN SCHERMAN. Christian, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
How does reaching or approaching the debt ceiling affect financial markets and investor confidence?
So we should keep in mind, actually the debt ceiling is reached for some time now, and the Treasury is running on so-called extraordinary measures to keep financing, to keep cash flowing also to bondholders. The big question now is, how long does Treasury can have money to serve its obligations? Janet Yellen, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, estimated this would be until June 1st, and the ultimate consequence of crossing that date would most likely be that there will be a government shutdown, so that the Treasury needs to prioritize their spending, most likely first serving bondholders and taking the money from other parts of the government. So we estimate these consequences will be felt relatively quickly. Every week of a government shutdown amounts to approximately 0.3% of GDP loss. So there will be increasing tensions, and obviously this will be the pathway towards a crisis of confidence into the world's risk-free asset, and that would be Treasury bonds and bills.
What are the possible consequences if the US debt ceiling is not raised or suspended?
So if there is no timely solution to this situation, and current news flow is very optimistic that we maybe have a solution towards this over the weekend. But let's assume that the US Treasury is failing to pay coupons, failing to pay interest rates. So at the end of the day, the consequences of this will be very hard to imagine. So this is a field, this is an area nobody wants to touch, and that's why we are very, very confident that we will see some sort of solution, some deal very close by.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Sherman, how does the US debt ceiling compare to debt management practiced in other countries?
Oh, it's quite unique. So we should remind ourselves that this is a relict of post-World War I area, and actually was designed to make things easier. Prior to the debt ceiling regulation, we had a situation that the Treasury has to ask the Congress each time it issued some debt. But now these days, actually, we are dealing here with a matter that is complicating the smooth flow every now and then. We should keep in mind that the debt ceiling is more backward-looking, while it is not comparable with a normal budget process, which is forward-looking. So at the end of the day, the debt ceiling is a mechanism that, looks into the past and looks at ongoing obligations, while the fiscal budget process that is usually common, as we know from other economies, is looking forward. So there are arguments pro and con to suspend it altogether. We have no opinion on that, but we welcome everything that keeps turmoil for markets away and increases consumer and investor confidence.
What are the potential long-term implications and risks associated with ever-rising US debt?
So usually with the US, we could state that it is not that much a matter, because the United States is de facto the risk-free rate. It is the world reserve currency with the US dollar. But in general, when we look at this from a macroeconomic perspective, we should state that higher interest payments, higher interest rate burdens on government bonds usually are along with higher taxes, and this generally in the long run lowers potential growth, especially if we have demographic situation that the population is aging. That is the case as well in the United States as everywhere else in the developed world. So at the end of the day, ever-rising debt usually implies that we have a lower potential growth, and there are the hopes then now with all these AI and other productive increasing trends emerging that we can overcome this. But at the end of the day, budget discipline is to kept in mind by policymakers, especially as we look at long-term potential growth dynamics.
Mm-hmm. Well, Christian Sherman, thank you for bringing Negocios Televisión, US Economist para DWS. Thank you. Good day and good business.
Thank you very much.
Nosotros hacemos una